Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Valley Voice. I'm your host, Hailey, and today we have with us Riley Ammenhauser, a tremendous asset to the Neuqua Valley Track and Field team. Hi Riley, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Okay, so to jump right in, what are some of the events you take part in the track season?
So my main event is triple jump. I also do long jump and some short sprints like the 100 meter and the 200 meter. I occasionally do relays too because like at state last year, my 4x100 relay team went to state and we got all state, so that was a good thing.
Okay, so when did you start competing in these events?
Well, I started competing in like 7th grade, but I didn't like jump right into triple jump like until 8th grade because it's kind of like a harder like event to do, and like not very many people do it. So, and then I just got into like just running through middle school and all the way up to like till now. I'm just getting better and better.
Okay, so how does your indoor season differ from your outdoor season?
Well, for indoor season, we practice in the hallways, and in the outdoor season, we transition to practicing on the track. And since we don't have a field house or like sand pits here, it's kind of hard to practice like jumping into like a pit. So we use a wrestling room like Wednesdays and Friday mornings, so we can get that technique working. And then like just the outside conditions make it kind of like more difficult to like control because it's usually like colder in the spring, and like with indoor season like we pretty much have controlled conditions, so it's kind of like nicer to jump in and like more like better for like athletes.
Okay, so then how do you prepare yourself for meets and then for your individual events?
Okay. Well, I think like the best way to start out is with like a good meal. So like I would usually make like a smoothie bowl and like put granola on top, like fresh fruit and everything. And then like water is really important too. You don't want to be dehydrated. And then at the meet, when you're getting ready to like compete, you're gonna want to have like a good warm up. So like you don't pull anything. You can be the fastest you can be, and like you want to be all like warmed up, so you just like can jump your best and run your fastest.
Okay, so then what are your goals for this upcoming season?
Well, for this upcoming season, I obviously want to break 41 feet in the triple jump, but my ultimate is above 43 feet, and that would like put me like as in like a #1 spot like in the nation. And then like as of running, let's see. I do want to be fast, but like maybe like attending state for like a running event or something, and a 4P like state championship would be like amazing. I would so be like really satisfied with that.
Okay, and then looking into your future, what are kind of some of your goals for senior year, and then can you talk about a little bit your college aspirations?
Yes. Like just like going into the future, of course I'm just gonna try and be better at triple jump, long jump, my short sprints. But for college, I'm just looking for like a college that would be like a really good jumping school, but like also very good with academics and everything with that, because like school always like is really important for like your future and everything. So I haven't committed to a college yet, but I am like looking really deep into them.
Okay, so then what are some of, if you can speak to it a little bit, what are some of your college experiences that you've had so far?
Well, I got state, like when I was a freshman at state, like no one really knew who I was because I was like a freshman coming into the track and field world. So like I just pretty much got like all my attention there. So when like these like next upcoming years, like the schools are like paying a lot of attention to me since I'm like since I won state, and so I've just been taking visits. I went to Michigan, Purdue, Loyola, and I'm looking to go to more places soon, but I'm not sure which ones I'm going to yet.
Okay. Thanks so much, Riley, for joining us on this week's edition of Valley Voice. And then we have another guest up next. Next up, we welcome four-year track and field athlete and Yale commit, Matt Apple. Hi, Matt. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
So to start off, what are the events you take part in the track season?
So during track season in indoor, I participate in just shot put, but then when outdoor comes along, I do shot put and discus.
Okay, so how did you get into track and field events?
Well, I had no idea I was going to be participating freshman year, but my football coach told me that, or told everyone on the team that we should be participating in some sort of sport during the off season so that we can keep competing and keep that feeling of competition, so that by the time we got ready for our sophomore football season, the competition and the spirit of competition wouldn't be lost. And I knew that I didn't want to do wrestling because wrestling seemed disgusting. And I don't know, if I kept on with track and field, then I would be lifting with my freshman football coach. And I thought that was going to be the best option for me to prepare me for football rather than track. So that's why I enjoyed track.
So then did you ever think that would lead to a commitment at Yale?
No, when I started freshman year, I had plans on playing football all the way through high school, and if anything, maybe that in college. I had no idea that track and field, first of all, would be a part of my high school experience at all, and when it was a part of my freshman year, I had no idea that it would turn into like my main sport, the thing that the thing that got me into college, and something that I'm going to keep doing in college.
So what are your goals for this upcoming season?
So for this season, I have the top marks in the state in shot put and discus, so I want to be a double state champion there. And then last season, I was very, very close to being an All-American in discus. So I want to go back to New Balance Nationals outdoor and hopefully place in the top 6 in the nation there. And yeah, just in terms of numerical marks, I want to hit, or not numerical, in terms of marks specifically, I want to hit 204 feet in discus and 62 feet in shot.
Okay, so then how are you going to use this season to prepare for your future in Division I sports?
So this season, I'm competing at a much higher level than I have all the previous seasons. So that's where the competition side is coming from, but I'm also throwing heavier implements this year to get me ready for the heavier weights that I'm going to have to throw in college. So for example, in high school we throw a 12-pound shot put. In college it's the 16-pound shot put. So in practice a lot I've been throwing the 14 just to get me used to a heavier weight and the different feelings throughout the ring, which doesn't seem like a big difference, but it really is a big difference. And then in discus I'm throwing the 2K discus instead of the 1.6K, which we throw in high school, so that I can get ready for college in discus, because my coach thinks that as long as I keep up the way I work now, hopefully I can get ready for NCAA Nationals my freshman year. So.
Okay, and then can you speak a little bit to your recruitment process? I know obviously you committed to Yale this year, but can you just speak a little bit on your other offers and maybe your experiences?
So it kind of started off right at the beginning of my junior year. Like in the middle of football season, I started getting letters for track and field, since that's when schools are eligible to start sending you mail. And I got some letters from schools that said like, hey, we've got our eye on you. It didn't really amount to much though until the coaches got in contact with you, because most of the letters had a recruiting form that they wanted you to send back. And if they responded to you personally from that recruiting form, that's when you normally started talking to them a little bit more seriously. So I got offers from Yale, obviously, Brown, and Cornell University. So those are my 3 Ivy League schools, since the Ivy Leagues, they tend to be a bit more recruiting heavy in terms of track and field. And then I also reached out to University of Wisconsin-Madison because it was close to home, good academics and athletic programs. So I wanted to see all that was out there instead of just the Ivy League schools that were recruiting me. But as I started taking my official visits, where I could stay overnight in the dorms with the athletes and all that stuff, I realized that Yale was where I wanted to be, instead of, like, even if it is a little bit farther away, I feel like Yale is the place that's going to set me up best for the future, so that's why I picked it.
Okay, and then what are some of your goals at Yale?
Well, first and foremost, I want to graduate. I'm more than likely going to study chemistry there. But in terms of the track and field portion, I want to make I want to make it as far as I can in the NCAA tournament every single year. And that's ending in NCAA nationals. Which means I would have to qualify for the regional and then place well enough in the regional to send me to nationals. In terms of like what place I'd have to get, I'm not really sure, but I think I can do it in discus. And eventually, I want to be an All-American in discus, and I want to try and pick up hammer, which is a new event that we can't throw in Illinois. And I want to be able to throw that at NCAA nationals because my coach and myself thinks that I have a lot of potential in that event. Even if it doesn't amount to anything, I want to, try it and see where it leads.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and good luck in all your future aspirations, Matt. Thanks to Riley as well. Make sure to stay tuned for next week's episode of Valley Voice. Have a great week, Wildcats.